Hello, I'm Jesse Chase, and this is How Horses Think. Today we're going to talk about neck reining, and one of the number one ways people send the wrong message to their horse when they're working on their steering. So all of our training comes from relief of pressure. So your neck rein is an addition of pressure. And what we want is we want our neck rein tied to a lateral movement of the front foot. So as this pressure increases across this horse's neck, ideally he will step his inside front foot away from that pressure. Oh look, he's on it already. So that's all we're looking for. The pressure on that rein connected to that inside front foot. So whether we start our spin, we lope a circle, we're going to have that connection. So now I'll jump on and tell you some mistakes that people make. I would say the number one thing people do wrong when they work on their steering is they will use the neck rein, ask the horse to turn, and what you should do is relieve that pressure and allow that horse to go forward. Neck rein, relieve that pressure, allow that horse to go forward. The biggest, I'd say the number one mistake people make is they'll ask the horse to turn and then they'll block the turn. Ask the horse to turn and then they block the turn. And if you do that often enough, your horse is going to start protecting themselves from that block. What you're doing is, if you ask them to turn and block it, you said, "Stupid horse, you shouldn't have turned." That horse just turned into a punishment rather than turn into a reward, which is the relief of that pressure and being allowed to flow forward again. Do that often enough, what starts to happen is that horse anticipates that inside rein knocking them. They're going to start to bend to avoid you connecting to that inside rein. So you're going to ask that horse to steer. He's going to bend his head and neck, but he's not going to step his foot. He's not going to pivot. Your turn is going to go from a pivot to a twist. The horse is going to be overbent. And now because he's overbent, he's going to try and overturn, and then the rider goes and starts blocking out and pulling out harder after the turn. It turns into a vicious cycle, and the steering completely falls apart and the horse won't go forward. So remember, in recap, pressure, relieve that pressure for the reward. Pressure, get your connection, relieve that pressure. Allow that horse to go forward out of that pivot, forward, back feet through the front feet. Try that at home. I know it'll work.